Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Barbeno's World. This episode might be a little bit disorganized because I already tried to start it already, but it's kind of a disaster. So the first part, I guess, is just going to be a bit of a show and tell of what I've done so far. Basically, at the start of this episode, I had plans to build an ice farm. And for that, you need a bunch of building blocks, and it's really hard. It turned out to be way harder than I expected. Yeah, anyways, I wasn't really feeling like placing down a ton of blocks to build an ice farm, which I don't really need. But I did kind of already get the project started, and I built something that would help us with an ice farm. And what I did end up building is this. It's another trading hall at our trading area, and it's for toolsmiths. I really like this building, especially the blocks I used. I love the blackstone, and also the basalt's one of my favorite blocks as well. And I spent quite a while getting just these few shroomlights, so yeah, it was really good. But that brings us to the second disaster of this episode. I was trying to get some villagers in, and I swear I went through like 20 or 30 of them, and I ended up with 3 toolsmiths in here. But the good thing is they trade pickaxes, and they are very cheap. And so I bought an absolute ton of those pickaxes. I got a full shulker box of them, and I enchanted all of them with maxed out enchantments. They're not netherite, but this is as good as it gets if you don't want to spend ages mining for ancient debris. So basically, with where we're at right now, I've got a ton of pickaxes that were meant for an ice farm, but I have nothing to do with them now. I guess since I did want the pickaxes for mining ice in the first place, it might actually be a pretty good idea to just use them to mine some ice manually, like in these glaciers, because these glaciers are made out of packed ice. And I actually learned that at the bottom, I think there might even be a little bit of blue ice down there, and that stuff is really rare. Oh yeah, there it is. This is blue ice. I actually think it might be kind of cool if I do a time lapse of me just getting rid of an entire glacier with all of my pickaxes, and we'll see how that goes. I think I'm going to use this glacier behind me right here. It's pretty big, and it should get me a decent amount of ice, I hope. Alright, one full polar bear habitat has been destroyed. Sorry guys. Anyways, I kind of realized while I was doing this that the full shulker box full of diamond pickaxes was way too much. Like, this is totally overkill. If I wanted to use up all of these, I would have to mine ice for like a day straight. We haven't filled up all of these chests, but we've got quite a few of them full. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and a bit. This looks like a lot, but it's mostly packed ice and a little bit of normal ice. So I'm thinking if we compact all of this down, it's probably just going to be like one shulker of blue ice, which is what we really want. Alright, there we go. Just as I expected, we've got one shulker box and actually a little bit more blue ice, which is gonna be nice. However, I'm not really planning on using it for anything right now. Don't worry, it will actually get used, but first I have some other plans. And what I want to work on now is actually some of the infrastructure around my nether, because really my nether hub is just in shambles. It's a total abomination, and yeah, it's just generally pretty ugly. I do kind of like this mini castle here though, but unfortunately it's gotta go because it's in the way of what I want to do next. Okay, the castle is gone, and there is something I want to try now. Because the two main portals that I use are obviously from spawn and from my castle and my storage system. So I want to build some sort of nether hub building here that incorporates both of these two portals. Okay, here we go. I think everything is good here. And this is basically the layout I have planned for the new build. In this corner we have these two portals, and they both lead to the spawn base, and those two portals over there lead to the castle. I've moved over to creative now, and in this world I don't want to test everything and build the entire thing here because I'm too lazy for that. I just want to test out a few designs to see if they look good, and then I can build them in survival on a larger scale. I'm just going to grab a bunch of the nether blocks from here and see what I can do with them. Okay, this is what I've got so far. I like the archway, I guess, but I'm not so sure about the walls. Okay, I've got a bit of an update now, and this definitely looks quite a bit more grand. And yeah, this is actually really great. I like the colors, and I like the quartz. I think this is going to be a pretty good design to go with. Basically, what I think I'm going to do is just build a big square using this design, and at the top I'm just going to have the roof cut off like this, and then we can always just fly out if we want to, because I don't want it to actually like hinder functionality, because I do like flying around in my nether a lot, and I don't want us to be constrained. Also, I need to make sure I spawn proof everything, and the bedrock down here is spawn proof, but anywhere else that we have blocks, it needs to be either slabs or glass on the top. Alright, I refined the design a little bit by adding another layer of quartz bricks up there. Looks very good. And I also put in one of the doorways over there just as an example. Okay, it's time to get some resources. I'm pretty sure all of the stuff that we're going to use for this build is renewable, so we can get some nether bricks from our piglin bartering farm, and we can also trade for some glass with the librarians. I'm really hoping we have enough nether bricks in here because I don't know how I'm supposed to get more. I've also got to harvest some of this stuff to make the red nether bricks. While we wait for all of that nether wart to grow up over there, I'm going to trade for some glass with my librarians. It's time for a resource collecting progress update, and I have done quite a lot. All of these shulker boxes I was using to collect all of the stuff, and I should have quite a lot. Nether bricks, we have 2 shulker boxes of red and normal, and we've got 1 shulker box of red, 1 shulker box of orange glass, and we also have a bunch of quartz. We're going to need to turn some of this into smooth quartz, so I guess that's what I should do now. Okay, I think I've got just about everything, and I've organized it all here by the build site, and I even labeled the shulker boxes with signs, which will hopefully be useful when we build it. So we've got quartz, glass, and nether bricks, all good. So I guess I'll go into creative and take some screenshots so I can pull them up for reference, and then I will start building. Let's go. Okay guys, it is all done, and I think this place looks really good. It all turned out perfectly, even though I didn't plan it out all in creative. So I'm really happy about that, and yeah, if we take a fly around, you can see that from the outside, it doesn't look quite as good as it does from the inside, but it's still decent. And yeah, these doorways, I added steps up to them so you can go in them pretty easily. And eventually, out of each of these doorways, we're going to make paths going to our other locations. My only issue with the Nether hub so far really is the floor. Actually, yeah, I just left the floor as bedrock, and probably wasn't the best decision, but I wanted to keep it at this level so that the portals would link up better. And I think that's okay, but I can still do something to differentiate the inside floor from the outside floor just a little bit more. Here it is. I designed this pixel art here in Creative, and it's just made out of red and black carpets, and it's a big creeper face that is 2x2 carpets for each pixel on the creeper texture. And this is kind of supposed to represent the little creeper that I have on my skin. You can see it there. Very nice. This is actually quite a hot tip that you might not know. If you craft the white wool into carpets before you dye it, then it actually is way more resource efficient in terms of dye use. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, we have a small problem. The creeper texture is actually an even amount of pixels, and our build here is like an odd amount of pixels, so it might be a little bit tricky and I'll have to rescale the texture a little bit, but let's see how it works. Okay, I just finished the creeper texture and I think it looks pretty good, but unfortunately I accidentally made it facing east instead of facing north like I wanted it to, so I'm gonna have to redo the entire thing. This is actually so cool. Finished it up with it, and definitely the black carpets also made a huge difference. Now it actually looks like a sort of different building compared to the outside. Unfortunately, we do have a few spawnable spaces here, but I don't think anything dangerous can spawn, only these zombified piglins. And they should only spawn if we fly up really high. And speaking of flying up really high, hopefully we won't be having to do that so much once we've made this next edition. And as you know, this ice from before that we collected is all blue ice, and if you place down a bunch of blue ice in a row and you put down a boat on it, watch what happens. We go super fast. It's hard to show on such a short distance, but if you set up really long paths of it, you can go up to 75 blocks per second, which is quite a bit faster than elytras, and also you don't need to use any elytra durability or rockets, which is really convenient. Alright, the first ice path I want to build is probably my longest one, and that's the one out to the mob switch. I have to fly there a lot every time I want to turn it on or off. Alright, everything's set up now, and I think I'm ready to start building. Basically what I need to do is make it really precise so I get the perfect angle towards my mob switch, and that angle needs to be 129.1 degrees. So I need to set my yaw to that and look down just a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna lock my aim here with the tweakeroo mod, and now even if I move my mouse, I can't botch it up. And then I can just walk around and place blocks at equal intervals. And I need to make sure that none of them are too far apart so that the boat can glide over them easily. Alright, so I've spent a while placing down the ice. I've got just a few blocks, but I'd like to show you what I have so far. At the start, it definitely isn't my finest work. I wasn't placing them very efficiently, but I eventually got the hang of it, and I started placing them at very nice intervals out here. Good stuff. Now I just need to do this for a few thousand more blocks until I make it to the mob switch. Welcome back, guys, and I've got to say this has been quite the grind. but I did actually extend the road all the way down to our mob switch. And in order to test it, I set up this trick that was discovered by Raceworks. If you place a boat at a specific angle and you go into that boat, you end up pointing at the precise angle that the boat was placed at. So if we place another boat just like that, get into that boat, we should be facing on the precise angle. There is just one problem, and that is the ice road doesn't really work. It works most of the time, but at some point, you just fall off. I honestly don't know how to fix this, and I don't want to go through like placing blocks to try to fix it because this is just so long. There's no hope of me being able to do anything precise. So I think what I'm going to have to do is tear it out and try something different. I placed like 2,000 of these blue ice blocks, so it's definitely going to take a while for me to remove all of them. Alright guys, I've spent another few hours working on this, and it's time for a really big progress update. I'm actually completely done, and it works. So once again, we've got this same boat alignment system, but this aligns us to just negative 45 degrees, I think. And that's because the path here is just a straight diagonal, because that's a lot easier, and also it's quite efficient on ice. So let's ride this until the end. Okay, we've reached the end of the first thing. I might need to fix this up a little bit with the stopper here. It's not 100% effective. Hopefully this should do the trick. Anyways, once you get here, there's another liner that puts you onto this next thing, which just takes you the last few hundred blocks on a different angle, which is 90 degrees. And this combination of the two paths just makes everything a lot simpler rather than having it on a weird precise angle. And here we are at the mob switch. And yeah, it's definitely much faster, and I would say it's more fun to use. I might get sick of the ice boats, but yeah, they're really fun. There is just one small problem, and that is mobs can occasionally spawn on the path, and that stops our boat and we can get attacked by them. So we need to spawn proof all of this ice, which is going to be probably quite a time consuming task. Alright, here's the plan. So I'm going to ride along this track in my boat while holding buttons and using the fast placement macro in the Tweaker mod. And I'm really hoping it's going to be able to place one on every single block. So let's have a go. Looks like it's working. That's legendary. This is so genius. And just like that, all of the ice paths are all spawn proofed. I'm pretty sure I placed like over 1,000 buttons in like a minute. Anyways guys, now that we're done with the ice path, I think that's all I'm going to do this episode. I'm really happy with all of the progress that we've made. I don't really have any plans for the next episode, so I guess we'll just see what I want to do. Anyways, this was jolly good fun, so thank you for watching, and goodbye.